Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live with Lee. This is the program where I do your questions and answers and provide you updates and relevant information about immigration law in the United States. Today is Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to everyone. So, for anyone who has any family members who have served in the military themselves, thank you so much. Um, and have a happy Memorial Day. Okay. So this is going to wrap up our day, right? Because it's 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is Detroit time. Um, this is a good way to wrap it up every Monday. So you get the information that came up over the weekend and questions that I received all last week. I will invite everyone to write their questions in the comment section of the comment section here. Questions here so that I can answer your questions. So I do this every week so that I can answer questions for people that might not know everything about immigration and might have some issues that they need to go through. So again, welcome everyone and write your questions. Write your questions. So I will say, again, welcome everyone. We got a lot of fans on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. So today's topic that I wanted to talk about, I kind of adjust as we move forward, but today's topic is entitled "Cheated On: Tips to Save Your Green Card." Okay, I get this question quite a bit. Estelita, how are you? Good morning from the Philippines. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us again. You join us virtually every week, so good to see you again. Okay, um, so if you are trying to get your green card, whether you already have it or you're going through the process and you find that your significant other has cheated on you, usually that's a problem for people that are trying to get the green card because all of a sudden now you have a problem, maybe not qualifying for the green card. Okay. So, what can you do if you've been cheated on and now you have to move forward with the process? Either show that you are eligible for the green card, or if you're removing your conditions, that you're still eligible to remove the conditions and that you don't lose your legal permanent residency. Okay. So there's a lot going on with all of this stuff, okay? And it's not a happy time. It's heartbreaking. It's a problem for people. I've had a number of clients in the past that have come to me with this at various stages in this process, and they've asked me, "Hey, Attorney Marvin, what do I do? Do I just give up? Do I just admit defeat?" No, you don't. Okay, unless you're the cheater. And if you're the cheater and you're trying to get a green card, chances are not good for you, okay? Because if you've cheated and your spouse sponsor no longer wants anything to do with you, well, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But if you're the victim of that, if your sponsor cheated on you, there's definitely things you can do and definitely things you should do because you shouldn't be robbed of your ability to get a green card because somebody played games with you, okay? So, again, unfortunately, it is common. So keep these things in mind. So the number one thing about this, and again, if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. Please write your questions in the comment section so that I can answer them. But I do want to continue talking about this topic, which is if you've been cheated on, how do you preserve your green card chances? Okay. Sadly, again, it happens to way too many people. And then I'll go back and I'll look at some of the questions that people are posting. So thank you for your questions. Please post them in the comment section so I can get to them. Okay. So basically, you can and should fight. Okay. The most important thing is to show the government that you're not the one who cheated. Okay. So, how do you prove that you haven't cheated? Well, your history together. Okay. If you have a solid history together with no reason to suspect that you did anything wrong, you should be able to show that. Now, things like your life together. If you have joint finances together, if you've filed taxes together, if you have joint purchases like cars or houses, things like that, that's a pretty good indication that you have a pretty strong relationship and that you have not cheated on your significant other. Okay. If you have access to your credit cards and to things that show the fact that your significant other cheated on you, that's going to be really valuable information because you're going to have to show this to the government in one form or another. You have to show them that something happened that was not your own making. Okay. This happened to a client of mine a few years ago. She came to me and said, "Hey, this is what happened. We've been married for, well, over a year. We've been together for 5 years, and he's got a different relationship. He's with someone else, and he was dumb enough to pay for these trips on our joint credit card, et cetera, et cetera." So she was able to get access to the stuff and basically catch the guy red-handed. All these things, they had their the iPhone. If you have a joint iPhone account, guess what? Most of the time, your messages are their messages and vice versa. So there's things that you can show the history through technology to prove to the government that you're not the one who cheated and that you were basically a victim of the cheater and that you don't deserve to lose your green card because you didn't do anything wrong. The whole point of this is to show the government that you were not gaming the system, that you were not committing fraud, and therefore you should not lose your right to get a green card. Okay. So if you can show those things, other examples, oh, do you have kids together? Okay. It's not to say that if you have kids that your cheater isn't cheating on you, but if you have kids together and you have a good relationship with them, you can use that as evidence to the government that you are not the cheater. Okay. So that's very important to be able to show that stuff. Okay. So there's another very closely related topic that I wanted to go over here in a second. But first, let me look at some of the comments. Let me see what we have here. I'm going to go up at the top here. A lot of our friends on Instagram. So thank you for joining us every week religiously. A lot of people join us. Let's see here. I'm married, but I got a felony. How do I get my green card? So if you, okay, and let me put this on here. I always like to put the link for the consultations because this is definitely the type of question that requires some sort of direct communication with me so that I can help you go through this stuff. And let me post it on here too. Because people with criminal histories, felonies and such, that hugely complicated because not all crimes invalidate your ability to get a green card, but felonies are ones that are very tricky because, well, not only felonies, but there are misdemeanors, the lower crimes that if you can commit, you can also not get a green card. So it's not just felonies, it can also be misdemeanors. They're called serious misdemeanors under immigration law. That could definitely impact your ability to move forward and get a green card. Felonies in general are really stinking bad. You're going to need a waiver. If you've committed a felony and if you're an immigrant, you need to talk to me, okay? Because there's things that we have to do to show the government. Well, it depends what it is really, but to show the government that your felony does not compromise your ability to get a green card, okay? It is possible. It's not easy to do, but I've done it many times. So basically click the link, schedule a consultation to talk to me. This is not something that we're going to want to just talk on some live broadcast. I can't really help you if that's the case, but I can just let you know that it is possible to move forward. But it really depends on what the felony was about or even the misdemeanor, okay? So you need to reach out to me, okay? Let me go back to here. I got an RFE to prove that I didn't get married just for immigration purposes. I pretty much sent all the documents that are asking for joint finances, everything. Yes, I tell you what, that is today probably the most common RFE I'm getting for my clients. Even and especially people that have never had any reason for the government to suspect immigration fraud. They basically hand them out like I don't know, like bubble gum. They just hand out these RFEs sometimes to people because guess what? You accuse enough people of that sort of thing, eventually you're going to come across people that actually have. They make it very difficult because you have to constantly prove that you're not a criminal, basically. Um, and the only way to do it is to provide them the information they want. If you don't have the right information, it is really hard to convince them that you are not a bad person and that you are not committing immigration fraud. Usually, I tell people that you really need to contact me for help with that because very delicate and they love throwing the book at people. So, yeah, very common for them to ask for everything. I've had, I mean, as good of a job as that I do for clients, I've had immigration, ask me a second time for a request for evidence. Show us all information, evidence that you've been together since you got married, that you have a bona fide relationship. What are you talking about? We just provided 20 documents showing that. Are you telling me that that's not enough? Well, sometimes that's not, right? And you've got to go ahead and convince them in any way you can, okay? So let's see here. What else we have? 1 second here. Okay, so let me look at, there's more questions coming in here. 1 second. Questions. Okay, answer the felony question. RFEs, yes. So is a speeding ticket called a citation? So yeah, any ticket is a citation, okay? Any ticket from the cops, whether it's speeding, parking, jaywalking, anything where the cops, the police give you a ticket, that is absolutely a citation. So like I said before, certain things are worse than others. Obviously, felonies are horrible. Misdemeanors, a civil infraction is a type of misdemeanor. It really depends on where you are and what your jurisdiction, how they characterize these sorts of citations. But yes, the answer to that question, a citation, a ticket is a citation. Okay, let's see here. 1 second. Okay, I'll answer that question in a second. Okay, so let me answer some more of these. I got one here. If you came through the border, can you get a green card in the U.S. when you get married to a U.S. citizen? So S. A Spartan. Yeah, heck yeah, you can. Okay. So again, depending on your history, absolutely, you can get a green card if you came through the border. And again, I'm reading into this because you wouldn't have asked this question if you entered legally. Okay. Whether you enter legally or not, you still can fix your papers in the United States through your spouse relationship. Okay. You can even do it through a parent relationship or brother or sister. It really depends on the relationship, but it's more common through a spouse. But yeah, if you came through the border, you can still get a green card. You might need things like waivers, or you might need to fix certain things. And I do that. So if you need help, you're at the right place. But yes, the answer is yes. Okay. Okay. Question here. My spouse's name was not on his original birth certificate, which was apparently common back in the day at that hospital. Will that have a negative consequence when filing? So Samantha, okay. I got to say that our friends that live in some countries in Africa, freaking common, man. So common. Okay. In a lot of rural countries that don't have the same sort of record keeping as the United States, it is very common for that to happen. And what am I talking about again? Birth certificates. Okay. Names on birth certificates, problems with birth certificates, parents on birth certificates, dates on birth certificates, problems with birth certificates is probably one of the most common problems people have overseas, especially in countries in Africa. It is a very big problem. When I have clients that I help with this, we've got to do a number of different things. Sometimes it's challenging, but it is possible to do. I've helped people find different alternative solutions. I don't like it, right? But it is possible to do, and I've been successful in helping people with that. So reach out to me, hit me up if you have questions about it, okay? Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So a follow-up question from Latina. I know you asked a question earlier. Let me answer this one too. Can I submit an I-130 if my spouse petitioner cheats on me? Okay. If your spouse petitioner cheats on you, technically you already filed the I-130 because that's what a petitioner is. Okay. So can you move forward with a green card petition if your significant other sponsor spouse cheats on you? Yes, it's a bit complicated, but there's ways for you to do that and to make sure that you're still meeting all the requirements, even if your sponsor is, a jerk and is not treating you right. It is possible to move forward with a green card. Okay, so again, reach out to me if you have questions about it. I can definitely help you with that. And again, I have my link. I like to post here. So if you have questions, you can reach out to me. And I'm going to get to more of these questions. So stand by for that. Okay. Okay. Let's go here. I have a green card. I was married with a U.S. citizen before I came to this country. I have a migrant card, not a migraine, unless you have headaches. You're dyslexic. I want to know if you can help me out. Absolutely. If you, let's see, you're married with a U.S. citizen before I came to this country. Yeah, absolutely. I help people all the time with situations like this. You're married overseas and you want to come to the United States and get a green card in the United States. Yes, I do that all the time. So you're at the right place if you need help with that. Again, click on the link if you want to reach out directly to me so that I can help you with that. Okay. Thank you for answering my RFE question. My pleasure. I also in the same-sex marriage. So the brilliant thing is same-sex marriage, no different than heterosexual marriages, matters not at all. And that's true for fiancé visas. That's true for anything that's related to relationships, okay? Sponsorships through a significant other that is a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident doesn't matter because we recognize same-sex marriages and relationships here in the United States. So you're good with that, okay? Okay, be doing the petition. He was born in New York. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I definitely can help with that. Too easy, whether it's a legal permanent resident or a U.S. citizen as a sponsor. If you're out of the country, you want to come into the country, I do that all the time. In fact, I've been known to do webinars to help people figure out what process is best for them. The best thing to do is click on the link to schedule a consultation with me so I can help you with that, okay? So let me go back over here. I think there might be some more questions on the other channel. Okay. Is the immediate relative on the visa bulletin get an understanding about the bulletin chart? Okay. So that's a very good question. And I'm glad you asked it because I was ready for it. Because I have a link to one of my videos. Let me see here. For people to go to find out lots of questions like every week. 5 times a week. We get questions about processing times. I've done videos about it, and I'm posting the link on here right now, so you can go to my YouTube channel and take a look at that video. And around that video, there's very closely related videos that you can also take a look at. So that link will get you to the right general area. Do a search, right? Do a search in the little, search tool at the top for just strings of words. More likely than not, I've done a video about it. So, but to answer your question, yes. The visa bulletin stuff I do every month. and I analyze it, I explain it, and I try to put it in context for people. And I give the most up-to-date visa bulletin results. So please check that out. Okay. Let's see here. My card is being produced. When will I receive my green card? So, Abdullah, so if you've gotten a notice from immigration that your card is finally being produced, sent to this processing center for them to actually produce it, freaking amazing, man. I would say that wait time, it's within 2 weeks. When I've had this with my clients, within 2 weeks, you should be getting that. The good thing is yes, the plastic card is highly valuable, but your approval also shows that you are a legal permanent resident. So if you've got the approval, if you're in the United States and you've gotten the approval, which is on that fancy piece of paper, your 485 approval, that is just as legal as an actual green card. Okay. So yes, 2 weeks for the green card usually, but if you have that piece of paper that shows the approval, you're also going to be good with that. Okay. Let's see here. Hello, I renewed my green card for the first time last December. I received a letter that proves I'm still a resident, but can you give me any advice on what to expect next? I certainly can, Luis. So again, processing times, wait times, approval times, they're all the same problem people are having. So if you've applied for a renewal of your green card, your receipt notice, okay, depending on what type of green card you have or what relationship, sometimes they take a little bit longer. Your receipt notice, take a look at that. Read it carefully because the receipt notice on there typically tells you we are gonna give you a provisional extension of your underlying green card approval until the point in time that we can catch up with the processing and actually give you the formal approval. Okay. Take a look at that receipt notice because a lot of those receipt notices say that on there and you don't have to worry, right? Because it says there that you're going to be approved or you have been approved. You just have to wait for the official notice. But the receipt notice, depending on actually most renewals, it automatically says that on there. If you've removed your conditions, that is the most common place that has that, where they automatically extend your underlying green card approval validity period. Take a look at that notice because it is going to be on there. Okay. If you did it yourself, that's why I'm telling you, take a look at what you got from immigration. If you have an attorney already, this is definitely a question for that attorney, but take a look at that notice. It is probably on there. Okay. So again, thank you, everyone. Again, questions in the comment section. Tons of great questions today. So thank you for that. Keep posting them so I can keep going with this. We've got, under 10 minutes. So I'm going to keep answering these questions. The more questions, the better, right? I'm going to answer a few of these on, let's see, YouTube, and then I'm going to go back over to my friends on Instagram, okay? What is the processing time for a 601A? My wife's application is there already since July of 22. You know how long it's taken for the processing. Again, I put that link up there. You're welcome, Luis. I appreciate you watching. So, Michael, off the top of my head, I would say that it is pretty common for these things to take around 2 years or more. Okay. 601As are always a bit longer because immigration says, okay, you've got the benefit of a 601A, meaning you can apply before you leave the country. We don't really care how long you wait. They would never say that. But in reality, that's kind of how they operate. So I would say 2 to 3 years is really extremely common. So if you're July of 22, you're doing pretty good. You're getting pretty close. Take a look at that link. I put a link for one of my YouTube videos that I talk about that. So go check it out, okay? Because I've got a video that tells you how to find that processing time, how to get more up-to-date information. Check it out. Again, YouTube. If you guys are watching from Instagram or Facebook, thank you. YouTube, I have a ton of stuff on there. So go to the search and check it out, because I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of information there that you're going to want to see. So just go ahead, check it out. Michael, you're welcome. My pleasure. Okay, let's go over to Instagram, see who we have over here. If I've missed any of these questions. Felony question, got that one. RFE, got that one. Spouse's name on that, birth certificate, got that one. Okay, got that question. Again, please post your questions, because this is a lot more interesting with real questions that I can use my analytical skills and my experience to answer. Okay, yep, got that. Yes, so Jason Mike Brown, 89. I help individuals and clients in every state in the United States and any country on the planet, because immigration is a federally based type of law. I can help people anywhere on the planet. Okay. So yes, I regularly help people from every state. Lots of clients outside of Michigan. I'm not bound by Michigan, thank God for that. A lot of my clients come from Michigan, obviously, because that's where my crib is. But I help people from anywhere. So yes, you're in Ohio, Springfield, Ohio. Yeah, absolutely. I help people from all 50 states. Ohio, I have a number of clients in Ohio right now. The only thing I don't do in these other states is the court stuff, right? Deportations and all that. I don't help people in other states because I don't travel to other states to do deportations, but everything else I can do from where I am here. Okay. So it's a really amazing thing. How long do you expect to be able to get a fiancé visa? Okay. Fiancé visa. This is a very common question. Fiancé visas are really two main parts of the fiancé visa. First is the initial sponsorship from the U.S. citizen. Okay. U.S. citizen files all the paperwork to sponsor. Immigration takes about 10 months. Sometimes it can be longer, to like a year, to approve that. What they're approving is, okay, we believe that the U.S. citizen is in a legitimate or bona fide relationship with somebody overseas. They approve that. They say you're good to go, meaning now they send that over to the State Department, okay, which deals with the embassy stuff, and they send that to the State Department for continued processing, the National Visa Center. That can take up to 4 months. Okay, so said and done from start to finish, most of my clients, it's a year and a half from start to finish. Okay, so it's a similar timeline for spouse visas, to be honest with you. Again, it depends where you are, because different countries, different embassies have different wait times, because they have different levels of people hitting them up. Ciudad Juarez, which is in Mexico, I think is the busiest embassy in the world. And it takes a lot longer in Juarez than it does, for example, in Ireland. Okay. So it depends on where you're coming from. But yes, it's about a year and a half processing time. So, okay, who else do we have here? Okay, yeah, Jason, Mike Brown, absolutely reach out to us. Thank you for that, and we'll get you taken care of. Okay, so don't worry about that. So again, thank you to all of our followers and people that are regularly here. We see a lot of repeat people here. We always love to see you. Thank you for supporting us and for your questions. Post your questions in the comment section. I really only have like a minute left. I like to keep things interesting, so we like to keep it to a half an hour. But every Monday, let's see here, every Monday at 8 o'clock, we have this live, okay? And people that are regularly here, one second. Here's a news flash from our friend Terry. It's not a news flash as much as it's a question. Terry, I believe we've answered this question before, but I'm happy to answer it again. So, and this is a good question, because this relates to a lot of people. I've got clients right now that are trying to get fiancé visas, and they're trying to figure out how to meet, okay? How to meet for that 2-year in-person meeting requirement that they're deathly serious about with immigration, okay? Can you, like especially Michigan, Ohio, places to the northern part of the country, can you meet in Canada? Heck yeah, you can. So if you get your significant other, to be able to go to Canada, do it, right? Because we have people all over the planet. Sometimes it's not easy for people in the United States to go to the other country. I've got people that have significant others in Pakistan, or people in South America that don't have the ability to travel very easily, or there's people that have health concerns that they can't travel long distances. So people that are geographically located in the northern part of the United States, have your significant other go to Canada. Canada is very good with people giving visitor visas. That's a very good way of doing it. So Terry, yes, 100%. If you're able to get your significant other to visit you, to meet up in Canada, it's going to make your process a heck of a lot easier. Okay. So let's see. What do we have? So I think that's probably it for the questions for today. Again, thank you so much for everyone who tuned in. Every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is Detroit time. Please check us out. And thank you for everyone. Have a happy Memorial Day. Again, thank you for everyone who served and family members who served. Again, look at one of my videos about parole in place for military personnel and their family members. Check it out on YouTube. I tell you what, it's very powerful, and it can help you and your family. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you next Monday.